Ladies and gentlemen on YouTube, welcome to the show. As you are probably completely unaware, we've been having issues this morning. And by we, I mean everyone using OBS is having issues this morning. We did use a workaround, and the workaround appears to be working. We're kind of Frankensteining it a little bit. So I'm using a different chat setup, so I can still see chat, but it's a little harder to see, so... Oh, maybe if I do this, it'll be easier to see. Nope, not an option. Didn't think so. Okay, we'll do this. There. Okay, I can kind of see chat. Alright, alright! I can read chat. I can see the game. The stream is up. I think we're okay for right now. Holy crap. Alright, let's play this stupid game. You know what irritates me is I have a bit of a bad reputation, deserved, for streaming late almost every day, and that's because of something I'll get into in a second. But I was actually ready to go today. Like, I was on time. It was 9:58. I was sitting here in uniform. I hit go. That's when the error hit, and I was like, no! And I physically couldn't stream. At least not until I tried the Frankenstein workaround. Oh god, is there a dark mode for chat? Jeez Louise. There is a dark mode. Oh, that's so much better. Ah, my eyes. My eyes. Okay, we're okay, we're okay. A little stuttery. Is this gonna fix the stutter? Yep. Damn. That means the other issue isn't fixed. So, Rax, if you're watching this, which you're not, it didn't work. Damnation. Hang on one second. I need to double check a setting, guys. Please give me one moment here. Oh, it got turned back on somehow. That's very strange. There. Okay, maybe that'll fix it. Hang on, hang on. We're just doing all kinds of things today. Okay, that seems to have fixed it. We're okay for right now. Oh my god. This morning, I swear, I woke up at 9:30. One of these days, I'm going to actually wake up on time rather than late.
Gods. The entire country up in flames.
Ebdahi warned punishment awaited Edern, that he would show the land no mercy.
What in God's names did you do to him, Rayla?
Nilfgaard offered us an alliance against the rest of the north, but Demoven declined, in his clipped soldier's speech. They say Ebdahi flew into a rage and swore he'd reduce Edern to rubble.
Nice guy. I think we need to kill him, and then get a decent Nilfgaardian commander. I mean, why is any game made? The Joker's coming. For fun, to be enjoyed.
Any of you seen Nimoy? Was bound here from Iconford. Supposed to have arrived 3 days past. Any of you seen Nimoy? Was bound here from Iconford. Supposed to have arrived 3 days past.
Get all these resources, y'all. Hey, Uthor, you missed all the tech issues.
The Lyrians arrived at an ancient, half-desiccated beach. Its trunk sat atop a tangle of thick roots, and scraps of paper covered with tiny scribblings fluttered over it from top to bottom. Travelers crowded all around, barefoot refugees, bony pilgrims, peddlers with armored escorts, and shifty-eyed men with the haggard look of deserters.
The Wayfarer's Beach.
Rayla said.
Travellers of all sorts swap tales here. Perhaps we can glean something about our enemy's movements.
Or paint the enemy a clear picture of our own.
Gascon interrupted.
Nilfgaardian spies no doubt flock to this tree like flies to particularly pungent dung.
Oh, I'm absolutely enjoying it, yeah. Like, I get you, Joker's coming. Like, my own friend, Pax, who's into the series in general, has refused to play this because he doesn't like card games. So, you know, I get the mentality, but I don't know. This is exactly what I've wanted out of a card game for a really long time. Like, I don't know if you remember when Hearthstone was like, we're going to add campaign modes, and I was like, sweet! And then they kind of sucked. This is what I was wishing Hearthstone would do. But you are absolutely right. This is a niche of a niche, and I get why this, you know, isn't something that people are flocking to do. So, shrug. Hi, Dream Whisperer. Hello, Loner.
Meve decided to proceed cautiously. She pitched camp in a nearby clearing and sent a scout dressed as a peddler to investigate the Wayfarer's Beach. Yet long hours passed with no sign of the soldier.
Gods be damned!
The Queen snarled.
Reynard, send some men to follow his tracks.
The Lyrians found the scout's body in the woods a few leagues from the Wayfarer's Beach. His corpse revealed clear signs of drawn-out, cruel torture. Meve could only hope he had managed to hold something back from his captors.
What the hell?
You'd folk in Crumholm a trading with the Squirter. By day, for all to see. Lord Falberson trots about on an imperial leash already. War's lost. Plain to see. Lord Falberson trots about on an imperial leash already. War's lost.
Ravens are always trailing armies. Ravens and beasts.
Hey, Sergeant Dornan. Hey, Loke. Ask Kuthor when this occurs, because I'm not the expert there. It's before the games. That's what I know. So, yeah, there's the two modes of gameplay. One is the running around the world map doing kind of what is effectively choose your own adventure, and the other is this. So, looks like this is a normal fight. So let's just kind of play this easy, put out our loyalty unit. I've sworn I'm going to try and talk out my moves more rather than just think them out. So that people can tell what the hell I'm doing. Now that guy... Oh, take a drink. That guy sucks. What do I have equipped right now? So I have the ability to damage any unit for 4 and any other unit that has the same power level. Now, it's not worth using right now because that's the AoE ability, so we're going to hold off on that. We are, however, going to... That's also an AoE ability. Let's go ahead and throw out our other loyalty guy really quick.
Aye.
See what happens. See what he does. Okay, so that's terrible. So he's just spawning tons of enemies is what he's doing. So I've got a few options. This guy it's better to use later. This guy is better to use if there's at least 3 enemies out. This guy can start doing damage consistently, though, like forever. So I'm going to go ahead and throw him out. What he does is he marks a unit, and he just does damage to it until it dies every turn. As I say, that actually did come up in Blood and Wine. I remember that. So, one of the things we can do is we can move this guy around, which will buff Gascon. But I do have to play a card, so I'm going to go ahead and play this, which boosts all me by 2 and damages them by 2. I'm mostly just playing for time right now. I don't want to play my other cards. See, now that's actually perfect. They just got out some necrophages. Why have you not played Witcher 3, Huthor? What the hell, man? You like Witcher more than I do. We need to have some words, Huthor. Alright, so... Oh, okay, okay. So I'm going to change my questions like, why haven't you played the expansions, Uthors? God, man, get on it. Fix it. Okay, so... I was actually debating to doing just that, Tigzar. See, so I have an ability right here to set a row on fire. And if I do that on the front row, the necrophages, when they're damaged, deal damage to their nearby fellows. So I could do 5 damage this round to everything in the front row. Which wouldn't be enough to kill them, unfortunately. I really wish I had my Arbalists back. I can't draw right now, but I think that's worth doing. So we're going to go ahead and do it. Do damage to all the 7s. To buff the Loyalists. Unfortunately, now I have to play a card, so I am going to go ahead and set that row on fire. Turn. Okay, so they've passed. So I'm going to go ahead and pass. Round 1 of 1. Could have gone a little better. Shrug. So what do we got? We've got an Alchemist who is set a unit's power equal to the unit on its left. Oh, here I can redraw. Yes, so I actually do want to redraw. I don't want that Alchemist. He's not useful for this setup. I really don't want the Alchemist. There we go. Black Rail is much more useful. Although not useful for this match. I actually wish I could redraw several more cards. So let's get rid of the Bear transformation. I have 3 more redraws, so I kind of want to get rid of the movers. Okay, that's good. Given Cavalry is one of my best units right now. I'm going to go ahead and redraw the stone. Getting a Loyalist, which is good. I think I'm good with that. Well, he's not super useful. But I could buff him quite a bit. So, I will go ahead and play the War Wagon. There it is.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Even though it probably won't happen afterwards, Luthor. So they just put out an oh, excuse me, they didn't put out an Alpha, they put out a Necker, which is another spawner, and an Alpha Wolf, which... For every wolf in your hand, boost by 1, then damage a random enemy by 2. Repeat every time a wolf appears. So we're going to move the infantry, buffing Gascon, move the infantry, buffing Gascon, and... I'm just going to go ahead and play Black Rayla. I don't have the ability to buff her right now.
Take me alive.
So, one turn. Another Rothphage. That's good, that's good. So now that I've got a target, I'm going to play the Cavalry. Mark the weakened Rothphage. This is just a regular battle, and I'm just trying to talk it out. I'm going to go ahead and play this. I will pick... Let's do another Cavalry. Which I'll go ahead and drop here. And also target the Rothphage. By the way, the thing that's damaging them as they come out is the Manticore Trophy, which does 1 or 2 damage every time an enemy shows up on the battlefield. Now, we've got several 7s out, but I'd really much rather do that. Can I do that with just units? It looks like I can't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my ability on the 4, killing it, damaging them, and looks like one of them marked the other Rotphages. Good. I'm going to go ahead and play another cavalry.
The chase is on!
And we're going to mark the back Rotphage. Next turn, we'll kill that Rot Fiend, which will do a lot of damage to their back row. I'm gonna kind of play for time here. I'm just gonna play a Loyalist.
Ah, should have listened to me old lady.
They really like those Neckers. So, there goes the Rot Fiend, doing damage to the back row. Don't get another War Wagon out.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
By the way, the reason they're putting out so many Neckers is every turn, Neckers spawn other Neckers, as long as they're alive. I've basically got this in the bag, but I'm going to keep playing it out to be safe. I'm going to go and just play Gascon. Wait, no I'm not. First I'm going to do that. Then that. Now I'm going to play Gascon at 18.
Quick and painful this'll be.
Neckers. The only reason they're not stemming more Neckers is they're full on that row. Well, apparently they can summon to the other row. Who hasn't played? I don't know. Meanwhile, Ake is just getting buffed to hell and back. See, I'll just play my 38 strength dude here. And I can kill anything. I'm going to go ahead and kill that Rot Fiend. Wiping the front row. Unfortunately, that's it for me. That's all I can do. But I'm pretty sure we won. Looks like he hasn't quit yet. So that's why we're still doing damage. Okay, we win. Ham. Victory be ours. Father, the Blackclads are advancing from the south. Fortifications along the border. Velkart and Luton have already fallen. The devils are set alight. All else in their path. Take what you and Mom have of worth and go at once to Rossburg, to Uncle. You'll be safe there. I know what you're thinking. 60 years on your brow, 7-year wars you've survived, and this one's no different. But it is, Papa. You must trust me. I beg you. So do you think the corpse we just got that from was the person who sent it, or the person who received it? Let's see. Looks like we got a puzzle battle up ahead.
Soon after entering Edirn, Meve ordered a halt. She wished to sit with Black Rayla and plan their onward march, for Rayla knew every path in the realm, including ones not drawn on any map. They were hard at work when shouts rang out among the tents.
One final time I shall say it. As your senior officer, I order you to depart the training grounds, or...
Or what? Pray tell, you'll have me drop and give you 50?
What is the meaning of this?
Your Grace, I had thought to use this interval to drill the recruits, teach them...
To walk.
To maneuver, Gascon. A world of difference. In perfect harmony must soldiers traverse the field of battle. Otherwise, they could break formation. The enemy would penetrate our lines, and our army could be slaughtered.
And therein lies the rub, dear Reynard. Army. This is no army, but a band of partisans, if we do not adapt to the rules of desperation. If we adhere instead to the Academy Codex, we shall lose. Laying traps, wiping tracks, that's what we should teach the lads. Not marching to the beat.
All my eye! A fighting force must have discipline. Otherwise, tactics and planning are impossible. A soldier must obey orders.
I mean, actually, yeah, both have a pretty valid point there. Go figure. So I'm going to tell them both to chill.
A point on which we all agree. And since they are mine to give, I order you both to calm yourselves at once. And never air your squabbles in front of the men again. Our resources are limited. We cannot do everything at once. Prepare your proposed plans for training the recruits, and I shall decide which we shall follow. Clear? Then get to work.
I mean, it's also probably worth noting that the kind of tactics that Gascon was talking about also require discipline and coordination. So, you know, there's that. While we're on the topic. Inhabitants of Brumhill are hereby ordered to vacate the village by nightfall. Failure to comply will result in punishment of the highest order. I'm starting to hate this guy. Just a little. Well, let's loot the town.
Yet the fields are nothing but ash. Did our oats not suit the Emperor? However did our oats and other plantings harm him? Blackclads brought them monsters here, I'm sure of it. Your Majesty, I beg ye, let me join your ranks. Nothing but hunger and death await me here.
Well, okay, sure. Just what I needed, another mouth to feed. Hey, Carwelas. You still have a sub you haven't put towards anything, if you don't mind. I have to admit, I question the logic of the Black's decision to just kind of burn as they go. Like, there's such a thing as denying enemy resources, but you're here to conquer, right? Like, it's just... whatever. Unless they're one of those idiots that thinks that if you punish someone harder, then, you know, they will resist less. Because that's how that works. We're in Aedern right now, Carwelas. Is that everything over here? That looks like it. Alright, puzzle battle. Wait. Nope, I missed one thing. I missed a thing. Grab that. I even missed a chest. I do wish this game had actual pathfinding. I got that impression during Witcher 3 as well. I don't remember it, Carlos. So far, the only song that I actually recall... Well, that's not true. There's two songs I recall. One I like, which is on the title screen. And one I don't, which is the monster battle theme. Which I actually dislike, and that's why I remember it. So what you're saying, Huthor, is we need to kill Dahi and get Amir into more power so that we stop having idiots wasting resources and lives. Oh, I should put the phone. Look, I'm just saying, I'd rather have a Revan than a Malik. That's not a hard choice, even if I'm on the losing side. Oh, this should be fun. Okay, so these are... here it is. This is a puzzle battle. The way this works is you're given a set of cards and abilities and enemies, and you have to get a specific circumstance. So what we have to do is kill everything. So the Grave Hag is going to get stronger every 2 turns, and the Alghul is going to get stronger every 3 turns. We have the ability to kill something if we damage it by 2. So if we could get those down by 1, that would be excellent, but we don't. We also have the ability to just kill whatever the highest ranking units are. If they tie, then it will kill multiple. So that's the puzzle. So we have a couple of options here. Ah! I mean, that wouldn't surprise me, Uthor. I have to admit, a lot of my fondness of Emir comes entirely from Witcher 3. And by a lot of, I mean 100% of. So. Now, the problem is I can't just pass. I have to take action. Otherwise, I just wait a few turns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play him.
Don't you worry yourself, your grace. We'll get it done in no time.
Start working on their armor.
Pissing in the moat? Oh, dead.
Then... this. No, I am totally picturing exactly that, Leander. So he's up to 12, and he's going to be at 18 in a minute. So I failed. So this is a failure. But I wanted to see, okay, so he's going to go up to 19. So then I play this and I lose. Yay. So let's try again. So that was the wrong strategy.
Gonna need 3 buckets of nails and a tub full of pegs. Don't you worry yourself, your grace. We'll get it done in no time. Pissing in the moat? Oh, it's dead. It's gonna be a right good levy. Big and beautiful.
And win. Sorry, I meant to talk that one out loud. I didn't. I apologize. Inhabitants of Lapsfeld. As you know, Adrim has been betrayed. Our forces taken by surprise, now face severe shortages. I urge all who are able to support the war effort with a donation. Alright. I mean, okay. All I'm going to say is I've noticed a very common trend amongst fans of the series to disagree wildly about Nilfgaard. That seems to be true with regards to the actual creators, too, as Nilfgaard tends to be portrayed in a variety of different ways, depending. Which I think is pretty cool. Listen, nobody likes RTSs, Kay. Nobody. Just ask the AAA industry. I mean, do RTSs sell? Of course not. They're ridiculous. Making money.
Your Grace.
Meave heard Reynard call out from behind her.
The scout's returned. Claims to bear an urgent message.
The Queen halted her horse and waited for the soldier to reach her. He abandoned all formalities and jumped straight to the point.
Milady, a black-clad caravan, armed to the hilt, rides this way. To believe the rumours, they're hauling a load of war loot back south.
Reynard gave the soldier new orders, then turned to Meave.
Sounds like a prime opportunity to replenish our coffers.
Yeah. Let's frickin' attack them.
Indeed. An opportunity we cannot ignore.
The Queen said.
Your unit will block their path. Gascon and his men will hide in the woods and strike their flanks, while I shut the trap, attacking from behind.
Their plan established, Meave gave the signal to move out. A brief moment later, the fight began.
So, this is sort of a normal battle, but it only lasts one round. So, it's not a full normal battle. So, let's get rid of that. And let's get rid of that. And honestly, one of these guys, too. And another one. Yeah, they usually give you a hint for these.
We must drive them into the ambush! Follow me!
So, this is a pseudo puzzle battle. Still mostly a normal battle, but you have puzzle requirements. In this case, we need to move the caravan over to Gascon's ambush. Now, whenever it takes damage, it moves to the right. However, if it dies, we lose. These guys are in the way. They can't do anything. They have tons of health. And this guy, well, he wins if he's next to the caravan. So we're going to test something here.
We'll catch them all! Your life is mine now!
Because as you can see, the enemy will continue to play as normal, in addition to the light puzzle elements here. So... let's go ahead and toss these guys
You
out.
can try to win them all, but you won't.
Wise choice.
So I'm going to play another war wagon.
We're close, Your Grace.
Yes, I know. Damn. So these guys are mean. They have the ability to just damage enemy by 2, which they can do every time an ally is put on the field. I'm gonna go and do this, though.
Sure took your time. Thought you'd forgotten about me. Now!
So we have now triggered the ambush, which means we get 3 stray infiltrators. Which means those guys are going to be mean in about 2 turns. In the interim, we need to deal with this front line. So I'm going to deploy yet another cavalry.
The chase is
I'll
on!
focus on that guy. I would too, by the way.
Order!
And another one. Ow. So yeah, no, we've totally won now. I could probably just pass right now and win. Meanwhile, Ache is just getting stronger and stronger and stronger.
Enough chit-chat. Draw your weapon.
Yeah, I loved playing spy decks in Witcher 3, so...
Alba!
I wonder if we'll get a chance to do that in this one. Meanwhile, Ache is almost as strong as their entire force by himself. Screw it. Let's play another cavalry.
Yeah, yeah!
I mean, you say that, Huthor. Can I just say, I know you weren't there for the Witcher 3 lore run because you hate me and everything about me, but when we got out of the gray muck of the first, well, technically the second zone, my mood noticeably and demonstrably improved. And I commented on it during the stream because I didn't even realize how bad of a mood it had been putting me into. And I was just, oh my god, this is so much better. It was like something had just lifted from my chest. God. Yeah, Velen was just causing me issues. Like, actual issues. I beat Nuki. Anyways, Carwellas, you still haven't put your sub towards something. Pick something. Yeah, believe it or not, I'm not a fan of swamps. I know, that's strange. I apologize for my bizarrities.
This harvest will be reaping black-clad heads.
So yeah, I'm tossing out a loyalist because I'm going to be able to use her power next turn.
Front yet again.
So those guys are finally dead. Let's see. So I can go for the 7s. And that's it. Actually, that's not true. I can go for the 4s as well. I think I'll go for the 4s and get rid of the other Arbalist. Exactly, Dakota. See, Dakota understands. Let's see. Let's go throw out another cavalry.
We'll catch 'em all!
Quiet! The Commissar here.
I'm not saying Velen is bad, I'm saying that I hate it. And that I never want to play through it again. And that my mood and overall demeanor improved demonstrably when I left Velen. If anything, it's an indicator of exactly how well done Velen is that it was affecting me that badly, and I didn't even notice. I literally didn't notice until I left, and it was just... let's see here. A couple options. Let's throw out another cavalry. Every time I hear that, I just kind of shake my head. Okay. And now we'll play Ache, who by himself is a 52.
Should help. Our codex commands it.
And you know what? Let's go and play this. Listen, there's no reason to win unless you can win absolutely. We'll play him.
Quick and painful this'll be.
We'll play her. On, let's say, that. And then we're done. I just wanted to completely destroy them. I knew it was those. Yes, Doom Eternal is next Friday, I think? Saturday? Something like that. Unfortunately, I have not had the time to. My version of Switcher 3 is actually right there, but it's still in the plastic.
Their plan ended in success, the Nilfgaardians crushed. As soon as the dust had settled, Niamh tore the canvas off the nearby wagons to see what precious loot they had so carefully guarded. She expected to find gold, jewels, or exquisite silks. Instead, she saw dirty, terrified figures bound in chains.
Slaves,
Reynard muttered.
their precious cargo. Slaves. Behold the glorious future the Empire brings us.
Meve ordered the prisoners freed and discovered they were Edirnian peasants on their way to dig canals and dredge swamps as forced laborers.
You are free. You can return to your homes.
The Queen said. If she expected words of thanks and gratitude, she was in for a disappointment.
What homes, my lady?
Asked one of the peasants, holding back tears.
Took our land, they did. Nothing we have now. Not a rag to wear, not a crumb to eat. Leave us, we die. Soldiers don't do us in, monsters will. Us human hunger and cold don't get us first.
The Queen was about to answer when she heard Gascon, standing behind her, whisper,
Before you make any rash promises, please, some maths. Dozens of hungry mouths to feed, and weak bodies to defend, twice as many tired legs to wait for, while war rages all around. You do realise you cannot save everyone.
Damn it. Gascon. Alright, hang on. Where's my Star Destroyer? I just need to park a Star Destroyer in orbit. Saying, alright. Here's the deal. I'm gonna give you guys one chance to stop being horrible. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Stop being horrible, and everything will be fine. If you're not, then I'm going to glass your planet after evacuating the decent people. I'm going to let him join me, though. What? Screw pragmatism.
I attacked this caravan hoping to fill my coffers.
The Queen said.
Instead, I have only secured a new drain upon them. But very well. In these ill times, we Northerners must help our own. Women and children in the wagons. The men shall march alongside to the rear. I warn you, if you cannot keep pace, we shall leave you by the roadside. Move out!
The Queen's gaze momentarily caught the eyes of an old woman her soldiers were helping onto a wagon. Tears of gratitude poured down her soot-stained face, across hard lines left by years of destructive toil. Meve was convinced she had done the right thing.
Whee! By the way, I just want to say once again that I appreciate you guys. I had some hater comments on the Banjo-Kazooie VODs, and they're so mild. Like, I can't even qualify them as toxic. They're just people being like, hey, you suck. And it's like, damn, I am so grateful that I don't have to deal with actual toxicity on my show. The worst I have to deal with is people like that. Although apparently I need to go back to playing Sims instead of playing real games. Sorry about that. I mean, admittedly true, Zalog. Dude, I mean, I would be down for playing Sims 3. Just 3. It's the only one I really liked. But, I mean, no. Nobody wants me to do that.
As Meve neared Gatburg, her eyes were drawn at once to the black pennants flying over its palisades. Nilfgaard's pennants. Her scouts found the city's buildings intact, its streets unstained by blood. Black-clad soldiers could be seen guarding storehouses holding loot pillaged from nearby settlements. Curiously, these soldiers were very few in number.
The gates stand open. Clearly the Imperials expect no attack, giving us the element of surprise. We can take back the city and
make off with the gold.
Gascon finished.
I mean, duh.
Meve hated Nilfgaard and needed gold to maintain her army. Two very good reasons to attack Gatburg. Her decision made, she ordered her men to prepare for battle. Now the invaders would have to try their hand at defending.
Larven! Essay to Navain!
Dude, I don't know, Joker's coming. But again, I mean, you ever read the old comments back before Total Biscuit locked down comments on his shows? Like, you want to talk about actually horrible comments on the VODs. That's just real toxicity over there. Okay, so this is going to be a pseudo-puzzle battle. I actually am really liking the ratio of the 3 types of combat in this game. Puzzle battles, pseudo-puzzles, and standards. And standards seem to be in the minority so far, which I like that. I know, it's just my opinion, I'm stupid, but I do like that. I'm debating it, Uthor.
They feel at home here, the Nilfgaardians. Let's show them they're wrong.
Okay. The foist thing I'm gonna do is throw out a dude.
Aye. New orders? No?
Visiting ambassador. His ability is to strengthen all allies by 1. Interesting. Well, let's get the pain train going.
Must be an important lesson in this. But what?
What the game just crashed. Like, hard crashed. Unity! Okay. But I am going to go ahead and pencil in a gameplay positive for that. For, if nothing else, the variety. Well, the autosave is pretty strict, last I checked, so let's find out where we're at. It's actually something I don't like about the game is the autosave. Well, that's not fair. Is the fact that there's no save. A Rimworld Seed? Hang on.
Hey, come on. Get
Platylich. Capitalize the P and the L. So let's see where it puts us. Okay, so we only lost a couple minutes here.
As Meve neared
the gate step.
And cutscenes are skippable, so we're back in here. $30. That's pretty good.
They feel at home here, the Nilf.
Yet another reason why skippable cutscenes is a good thing, by the way, what we just saw. Okay, so we're gonna toss out... No one fights like Gascon. No one eats like Gascon. Sorry.
152, 154.
So now we start the pain train again. Please don't crash.
Scrubbing duty again? Oh, gods.
No signs of fighting! These Horsens must have opened the gates for the Black Lads.
I mean, wouldn't you? No, really. Giant army shows up, and you have no defenders, so you can open the gates or die. What do you choose to do? Like, that was a really common thing in old warfare. That armies would just kind of take towns unopposed. Unless they had a garrison. decent defenses, or another army was nearby. Who, Rayla?
Can't take it anymore.
Oh.
Wise choice.
Wow. Platy has betrayed you.
Yeah, yeah! Ha! Order!
They have a lot of their arbalests, and those guys are mean. I wish I had arbalests. Holy crap.
We'll catch 'em all!
Order will triumph. It must triumph.
Whoa! Oh, okay. Okay. So, that is a Nilfgaardian Commandant. He has 75 power and is immune. However, he loses 25% of his power, current power, anytime an ally is destroyed. Speaking of which... I guess I'll go ahead and throw her out right now.
For Demavend!
You got this, Uthor. Remember, you can reload and change the crisis event, as we discovered. That's true. So, I'm going to start playing for time a little bit. Let's do... Oh, yes. The bomber. Wait, no. Can I can't do it. Whatever.
Catch!
Just going to set that row on fire, like you do.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Eh. Play for time now, which I was thinking about doing last time, because that'll kill that guy, doing damage to that guy. Wait. What else you got, buddy?
Off to the front yet again.
So now I have to play the War Wagon, so what we're going to do is we're going to shuffle them, and play him.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
It's getting kind of full here. Unfortunately, we have to pass now. So that's all I got. That's everything I got. I rule Phylem.
The battle's won, Your Majesty.
I'm enjoying it. Joker's coming. But take that for what it's worth. I mean, I played Magic the Gathering for like 10 years, so...
The Battle of Gatburg ended in Maeve's victory, much to its inhabitants' displeasure. While she examined the Nilfgaardian storehouses, the city's mayor, an elderly gentleman with a walrus moustache, requested a private audience.
Your Grace, I am old. Kill me, you'll merely save my gout the trouble. So I'll be frank. You've but few men. You'll not spare a one to defend the city. When you ride off, the Imperials will retake Gatburg, peer into their looted storehouses, and seek revenge. You will be far off, while we shall be oh so terribly near.
The old man creaked down onto his knees and gripped the hem of the Queen's coat with knobby fingers.
Your Majesty, I beg you, leave the gold, or the streets of Gatburg will flow with the blood of our women and children.
Maeve contemplated what to make of the fellow. Should he be praised for his forethought and concern for his townsmen, or condemned for cowardice and insolence? Black Rayla, however, had no such doubts.
Traitors all. Small wonder the town's untouched. Must have opened the gates wide for the southern scum. Now they want us to let them fill their pockets with plundered gold.
Funnily enough, this is actually one of my first thoughts here. We don't have... Oh god, what's the old term for that? Like, you send a much larger army than you need to beat the enemy in medieval tactics, not because you want the numbers, but because A, you're going to lose troops on the field, and B, every town you take, you need to leave a garrison, right? So, we don't have garrison troops. We're basically a marauder force right now. So we can't take any territory, and we can't hold any territory. Yeah, there's actually a term for that, beat nuking. I can't think of it right now. And yeah, illness, weather, getting lost, infighting. Yeah, so, good thing Rayla isn't a queen, Loke. So, see, I can't bring it in myself to be a marauding force like this, so we'll leave the gold.
Meve stood before one of the chests, filled to the brim with gold. She slammed its lid shut with a bang.
The gold stays. Every coin.
She said,
In exchange, I wish you to promise when the moment arrives, when Nilfgaard is on the retreat, you will take up arms and stick them in their black-clad backs.
The old man stared for a long while into Meve's cold eyes, then merely nodded his head in silence.
I still get to loot, of course. But that's from the corpses, you know.
If we show them there's gold to be had, they could in turn show us mercy. If we show them there's gold to be had.
But yeah, no, they're probably screwed anyways. The Nilfgaardian force will come by, see that their garrison was taken out, and then they'll take revenge. The only possibility here is that that will, you know, be less of a revenge than they would have taken if we had also taken their resources. So this is a completely normal battle. This is actually the first normal battle we've had today, I believe. So, given that, I think I need to get rid of that. I'll never use it. Let's bring... Get rid of Gascon. He's not useful for this setup. Get rid of those two. And him. And... Let's stop there. So we're going to throw out the Loyalists first.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
So every 3 turns, they haunt the highest non-haunted enemy and move it to the other row. On every turn start, all haunted units take 1 damage. That's an interesting slow and rage right there. So, let's get the pain train started.
We'll catch 'em all!
The sooner I get that going, the better. God, all of their units haunt. Okay. Yeah, don't crash, game. Don't crash.
The chase is on!
Let's go ahead and buff after all that mess. And that's it for this round. Morning Graven. Next round I'm going to play a Loyalist and use my ability. Because now I got 2 5 targets, which is a good target for that. So, play Loyalist.
Aye.
Use ability. Buffs the Loyalists. And we'll enter there. So Arch Spores, on every turn they damage a random enemy by 1. When they die, they immediately summon themselves back from the graveyard, but weakened by 4. Which basically means you'll get 2 of them, because they start at 8. So then they'll start at 4, and then they'll be dead, and they won't be able to do it anymore. So let's go ahead. What's that guy? That's a wraith. Let's go ahead and play Black Rayla.
Enough.
I want to use her ability
Draw
next
your
turn.
weapon.
Meanwhile, Ake is getting super mega buffed, like you do. So he's passed. I just realized that. So I'm going to go ahead and use her ability because there's no reason not to. Let's do this. So, okay. So I'm pretty sure these are the 3 cards I'm going to draw for the next round. But I don't want to draw him, so I'm going to actually pull him and play him.
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
We're going to pass? Okay, we're not passing. Sure, we'll do that. Now we'll pass. One's over. We win. Looks like I was right. So we could. So I did use that to help stack the deck, basically, for what I was drawing. Now I kind of want to redraw the Alchemist. I just don't have a lot of use for him. But I got another Alchemist, so whatever. Start with a War Wagon.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Delaying for time here. Now we start the pain train. So I'm going to go and set some rows on fire now.
You mad? Don't shake that!
I'm going to wait one more turn before using my loyalty ability, or my hero ability. Perfect. So now we use it on the 6s. And we're going to go ahead and play the Alchemist on him, so he's now a 10 instead of a 2. So Barghists are mean. Whenever a Haunt Timer expires, it spawns another Barghist. That's just mean. Let's go ahead and set the front row on fire too. Sounds like a good idea. Meanwhile, Ake is just getting buffed and buffed and buffed and buffed and buffed. I'm just predicting at some point Ake is going to lead my party because he is just ridiculously strong.
A knight should help. Our codex commands it.
So yeah, let's just straight up kill that. I think Ake is OP. Like, you notice he's continuing to be buffed as I continue to take damage over here. Look at that. Look at that. He's up to 89. Put out a Noon Wraith. I'm still just wrecking face. Say, I'm gonna lose Ake. It's gonna be a moral choice, and it's gonna be like, do you want to do some horribly evil thing, or do you want to lose Ake? And it's like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to lose Ake. It's gonna suck. My lady, the cottage is abandoned, save for the man hanging under the roof. I believe he should be cut down and buried. But the soldiers are hesitant to carry out the task. They claim touching the corpse of a man who's taken his own life can bring bad luck. Piss off! Go. The council has decided to yield Gatberg without conflict. As we could not repel the enemy, this proved reasonable and safe decision. I, however, voted against the resolution. I was the only one not to do so. I did not agree with it. I do not agree with cowardice and collaboration. I do not agree with treason. I never will. And then he hanged himself. Hung himself? I'm continuing to not use my gold on upgrades. Damn it, Nuki. As ordered, I have acquired 30 live Nordlings, a Durnian province. Breakdown as follows: 13 males, 7 females, 5 elders, 5 children. Suitability of elders for label will be determined at camp. If the verdict is native, they should be removed from the convoy. Long live the Emperor! Slavery! What's that Star Destroyer doing? Ah! Take that buff. God, that's expensive as hell. It's the only one I'm doing. But we're gonna get more gold per battle now. Oh yeah, so we gotta talk to people. We have to talk to people.
I cannot forgive myself one thing. That I failed to see through Caldwell's schemes. He must have plotted treason for months, years even. Yet I suspected nothing.
Don't be too hard on yourself, Your Grace.
Easily said. Ugh, if I'd only realized it in time.
Nilfgaard would have found a different traitor, or sent an assassin north. It was unavoidable what happened. The Blackclads would have attacked in any case, and we'd have stood no chance to defeat their foe in open battle, repel him, drive him out.
So, had you been there when the peers assembled, you also would have voted to bend the knee?
No. My honor would never have allowed it. I'd have thrown myself into the fire, and probably died a fool for it. As matters stand, I still have a chance to thwart the invader, his intentions. It seems, in a twisted turn of fate, I should be grateful to Caldwell.
How has it come to this? I, Queen Meve of Lyria and Rivia, must prowl about the underbrush like a common bandit. And you, General Reynard Odo, once proud commander of 4 elite regiments of footmen, now lead a gang of deserters, bandits, and scythe-wielding peasants.
I do so proudly, Your Grace.
You must be joking, Reynard.
Your Majesty, under your husband I served 10 years. Under you another 8. And never in that time did I fight for a more worthy cause. We seek not to grab land, or stifle a peasant revolt. We fight for all the North. For our freedom, that of others. And you alone didn't give up. Didn't even consider bending the knee before Nilfgaard.
Yes, all true. Yet look where it's brought me.
Your struggle has but begun, Your Grace, and I will do all in my power to see you triumph in the end.
It's time I attended to other matters.
Your Grace, how fortunate you're here. Behold what wickedness is afoot.
I'm trying to behold Sir Ake, yet I cannot be sure what.
Reynard and Gascon, my lady. Caught in the act of playing face cards.
Oh, that. Indeed they are. Good.
Good? Games of chance, good. Why, they are evil's very claws. Corrupting, tearing at the soul, seeping venom into the heart.
I wouldn't worry about Reynard's heart, Sir Ake. As for Gascon's, too late already, I fear. Besides, they're getting along, that's what matters. If cards do the trick, so be it.
I mean, gambling canon has caused very serious issues across history, but I don't think banning card games entirely is really the solution there.
Does the good book contain an answer to every question?
Each and every query, without exception.
What does it prescribe a mother betrayed by her son? Tender forgiveness or unflinching firmness?
A moment while I ponder. There's a verse in chapter 2. A child who doth with waywardness defy his mother and father deserveth discipline most severe. Strike him thus heartily, unless thine heart stilleth thy hand.
But one could interpret that any way one wishes.
To thine own self be judge and ruler, spoke the prophet Lebioda. For thou alone shalt answer for thine deeds before thee.
There's a certain wisdom to those words.
Yes, Your Majesty. One need but gaze deeply into the verses, and oneself.
Farewell, Ake. So, Gascon, The soldier's life. Does it suit you?
About the same as the bandit's life did.
I beg your pardon.
The tents are cold, the food's shite. On the plus side, plenty to drink, most days. A skirmish here, a scuffle there, Nilfgaardians one day, elves the next, and whoever we rout, we rob of what they've got.
Requisition, you mean? Fully in accordance with the laws of war.
Oh, please. Save your excuses for your father confessor.
The Duke of Dogs. Whence the name?
Not certain I should tell you. It's a personal story, somewhat.
I insist.
So, thing is, I'm a werewolf of sorts.
Did I hear werewolf?
Of sorts. You see, when the full moon glows in the night sky, I transform into a creature that's half man, half dachshund. And then all the other hounds of the night hearken to my command.
Oh, forget I asked.
With pleasure.
I mean, in a setting where werewolves are a real thing.
I can't stop wondering. How did your strays break into the tower in Lyria?
They exploited its chief weakness.
What weakness is that? I oversaw its construction myself. Walls 5 feet thick, bars and grates of the sturdiest iron.
All tremendous, I'm sure. But how much do you pay the guards?
What? I don't know. The garrison's commander is in charge.
Let me tell you then. Not much, Meave. Not much at all. From atop a throne, it's hard to spot the little things. Example, a guard hard up for coin, or one with ambitions. But seeing that's second nature to even the most ordinary bandit. Take any castle door. To open it, to open all, one needs but a pouch of gold.
It's true. Pay the army. Pay it on time. Pay it well.
It's time I attended to other matters. Farewell. How fare you, Rayla? The quartermaster, did he assign you a tent?
He tried.
Oh, and?
I refused it. Best to sleep beneath the stars. Little chance of a foe catching you off guard.
Rain accepted, perhaps?
I'm not made of sugar, ma'am. I'm not gonna melt.
One sees very few women in the ranks, let alone in the special forces. How did you come to join?
On merit. Proved I'd be of use.
Yes, well, naturally. But how exactly?
I was 15 when I went to enlist. But the sergeant in charge of signing folk up told me to scurry on home. So I proposed a wager. Arm wrestling. If I won, he'd let me join. If I lost, I'd pay him 100 crowns.
And that kind of coin? You had it?
No. So I had to win. As we sat down at the table, across from each other, he laughed and rolled up his sleeve. When it was over, all around us were laughing at him. Then I just followed orders. Did so well enough to draw the king's attention.
I must go. We'll speak later.
Yeah, with a war going on too, Takoida. So they have issues that we in real life don't have. Gosh, it disturbs me to see you, Gascon, looking so down in the dumps. Sorry. Need to not get copy-wronged by Disney. I have to admit, Reynard and Gascon are basically vying for my favorite characters so far. For completely different reasons. Okay. I'd say I saw that film recently, but I'm not sure last October counts as recent. No one fights like Gascon. No one fights like Gascon. No one's chest is as incredibly thick as Gascon's. I'm done. Yeah, I've been wondering how they coded the text to be timed to the vocals. Like, I know text rendering is a thing because I've studied Earthbound, which I know is a strange thing to comment on, but for those of you who have actually looked into the behind-the-scenes of Earthbound, you'll know they developed an entirely new, incredibly advanced program to render the text in Earthbound. Now, Earthbound has no voice acting, but the text is effectively the voice in Earthbound. Like, you know, like there's a pace and a beat to it, which can I don't know how to put it. It basically makes it seem like it's being voiced. It's absolutely brilliant. But again, it's also ridiculously complex. people have figured out how they could emulate entire games using just the text renderer from Earthbound. Anyways.
You hear? Gatburg opened its gates to the Black Lads. Surrendered without a fight. They take the young and strong as slaves. Leave the elders to starve and wane. Elves and dwarves, dirty non-humans, took sides with Nilfgaard. Then of a sudden, hit us from the back. You hear? Gatburg opened...
But no, I'm not aware of CD Projekt Red's lip sync thing. The only lip sync software I'm aware of is StarCraft 2's, which is another one I could gush about because it's absolutely incredibly brilliant. Like, StarCraft 2 has astonishingly well-designed lip syncing software. But let's not get into that. We'll gush about StarCraft 2 whenever we review it. Please put it on the list someday. Anyways. My queen, the inhabitants of this dwelling have given shelter to wounded Nilfgaardians. The landlord says he found him in a field bleeding and raving deliriously. He decided he couldn't leave the man in such a starry state, so he invited him home. Our soldiers are outraged! So, we can drag the Nilfgaardian out and kill him. Or we can offer him a gesture. Fine, fine. We'll do Xenosaga, then we'll do StarCraft 2. I would actually kind of like to dig into the Xenosaga series with regards to a review angle, because I didn't do that for the Ruminations. I was entirely focused on trying to make sense of the story so I could do a good discussion of it. Like, I'll be real. I think I already told you this to quit. I was intimidated by Xenosaga. It's like, oh, jeez. I've heard good things in the comments on the Ruminations, so I guess I did a good job. Shrig. Why are they burning as they go? What are you, Mongols? Actually, that's not fair. Even the Mongols didn't burn as they went.
Was here. Just a week past. That was a mill. An inn. Out more than ashes now.
And of the people, not a trace. Not even the bodies.
Well, that's neat. It's okay, burning makes sure that they don't get up as undead in this setting, right? Right? So the goal is to get both elements on the same row and make their power equal. So after 2 turns, he absorbs the fire on the opposite row and doubles his power. Whenever he takes damage, he switches rows. After 2 turns, he spawns fire on the opposite row and then halves his power. When he takes damage, moves to the opposite row.
Army's a waste of time for one like me. Left, right, left, right. Again and again and again.
Damn it.
Lyria!
Ugh.
One bullet's all I need.
I'll attack my own guy. I didn't know I could do that.
Give me a time. Arbalista, your command.
I'm a horse.
Okay. That's ridiculous. Why would you ever knight a witcher? God. Think before you speak, Kay.
Again and again and again. An army's a waste of time for one like me. Left, right, left, right.
You know what has a better ring to it? Sir Geralt of Toussaint. Actually, I forget the name of the orchard. What's the name of the orchard? Like, there's a name for that chunk of land. Is it Beauclair?
I'm a horse.
There we go. Whee! There you go. Sir Geralt of Corvo Bianco. So, we gained a runestone. Your Majesty, our reconnaissance has confirmed eyewitness reports. Disturbances in elemental equilibrium near places of power has resulted in the appearance of elementals. The handiwork of our enemy. Damn you, enemy. Everyone pitch camp in the middle of the flames. It's the best place to chillax. Okay, so this is just 8 damage. That's nice. I am so replacing that bear thing with that. There we go. Geralt Roger Eric de Haut Bellegarde? He says with a question mark in his tone.
Look to the high road. The earth furrowed by wheels, hooves. The Black Lads went at Rosberg with all their strength. An ominous sign.
For Nilfgaard, I'd say. The fortress boasts 2 new towers, a deeper moat, gate of wrought iron. It cannot be taken.
You know, that's like the 3rd time they've emphasized how much they totally can't take the gate of the castle we're going to. Oh yeah, Huthor, I meant to ask you. Have you ever watched all of Deep Space Nine? All the way through, I mean. Does the final, let's say about 5 minutes of the final episode, give you issues in a similar manner to the Witcher 3 Blood and Wine problem described earlier? Kaivurul Valem. See, it's actually funny, because Blood and Wine's conclusion for me was extremely satisfying. Deep Space Nine's hits me like a ton of bricks every time I see it. Because, you know, that's it. The end. Of course, it probably helps that Deep Space Nine wasn't exactly a happy ending, but whatever. So, standard battle. That's not what I was referring to at all, okay. But I would agree that that part of the DS9 sucks. so this is standard. So we're going to start off with our loyalty units.
This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
You know, I don't actually know anybody who likes that part of Deep Space Nine. I'm sure there's people out there, but I have never met them. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of nip that in the bud right now. Stop them from spawning more neckers. And get another loyalty guy out. I probably should have done first.
Oh, but these damn boots are killing me.
Well, that's mean. Let's go and get the pain train started.
The chase is on!
There you go. Night Forager has proven my point. That someone out there actually likes that story arc. Now, Night Forager is clinically insane, so that should be taken into account when you discuss that. But it is still true.
Ow!
I am lore of... What would I be from Star Trek? I mean, obviously I'd want to live on Earth, but if I was ambitious rather than just trying to settle somewhere, where would I be of in Star Trek? I'm going to go and just kind of delay a turn. I would get the Klingons quite well. I would actually probably be really good at Klingon politics. There's one catch there. You have to be able to back yourself up with physical might in Klingon politics. And while I am in better shape than I've been in a long time, I still have a bad leg and blood pressure issues and breathing issues and yeah. So, not something I should probably be doing. Let's go ahead and set that roll. Let's just do it this way. You know, it's funny you say that, Night Forger. My first thought was Laura Borg. I always knew you were pure evil, Zalok. How could you do it? I'm gonna go ahead and commit to this. I have to play a card, but that's okay, because we're just gonna do that. Wipes the Neckers from the board. Next turn I'm gonna pass. It's just as convenient, because he passed too. So just pass. I don't think the Borg could assimilate the Prophets, but then again, that really is a GM call more than anything else. I do think the Borg could assimilate the Founders, but that's opinion.
Enough chit-chat. Draw your weapon.
Yes, Tigzar. And a fourth, technically. So they're getting the Necker train going again. We're going to cut the Necker train off right now. We're also going to play... Ache!
I fear not, for faith guides me.
I don't think I'd like Vulcan. It's hot. And while I get the Vulcan mentality, there's still plenty of Vulcans who are prats. And I have a hard time dealing with prats.
Yeah, yeah!
Ooh, a Grave Hag. Every 2 turns, consume the top unit from your graveyard. And he's got a really big graveyard, so... go ahead and do this.
Ever have a storm knock out one of your team?
Yes, thank you for making my point for me, Solok. Like, there are... I say Vulcans are prats. It's worth noting that that's not universal. But Vulcan prats are worse than other prats. You know?
Ah!
So now we'll play...
If anyone asks, you've not seen me.
Alright. So here's what we're going to do. We've got a runestone, which we can use to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. Unfortunately, I think that is it for me. That's all I can do. So pass. Hopefully he doesn't have anything as his last card. Which he doesn't. We win. Okay. See, now I'm actually... You guys should be thinking. Because, again, the settler, you know, in me, the one who just wants to retire someplace with my family, I'd pick Earth. Because, of course, I'd pick Earth. It's frickin' paradise. Why would you ever not pick Earth? And if you don't like Earth for whatever reason, it's okay. You're on Earth. You can go other places. You have the availability. These charlatans are about to begin the amputation. They say I have a chance to pull through, but as with such things, nothing is certain. Especially as I woke this morning to discover gangrene had set in. Hence, the reason I write to you now. If you're reading this, it means I did not survive. First and foremost, raise a glass of my honor. Then, make for the trebuchets on the other side of the camp. Between them, you'll find trinkets for Rosberg. I'd planned to return them myself, but it seems the great sun's grace no longer shines upon me. May you emerge from this war in one piece. But yeah, if I wanted to be ambitious, if I wanted to, you know, expand and conquer, I'm not sure what I'd pick in Star Trek. I have to really think about that.
What happened here?
This is my shocked face. This is the castle they kept saying was indestructible.
Sadly, it was Rayla who met with surprise. 100-yard gap gaped in the unbreachable walls of Rosberg. The fortress itself was aflame, spewing black smoke into the sky.
I don't... How? It can't be!
There was no time to consider her question, for Nilfgaardian scouts had spotted Meave's company. The Queen knew battle was inevitable, so she gave the signal to form a defensive line, then drew her blade.
Pseudo. At Rosberg, Meave realized Nilfgaard had not started this war simply to draw more favorable political boundaries, nor to shift the continent's balance of power, but to burn the North to the ground and build a new Nilfgaardian-dominated world atop the ashes. Raise eyebrow.
Your Grace, Nilfgaardian fighters remain in the city.
After 4 turns, on turn start, summon reserve units. Every turn, on turn start, reduce timer by 1. When timer expires, draw cards until your hand is full. Hello, Balthazar. Yeah, I'm enjoying myself so far. I'm just, Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do... see what happens here. No, let's not do that one, actually. Let's do... this one. Hey, Shadow Machine. Okay, so increase, not decrease. Got it. Hey, good for life. Yeah, dude, those Dwarven Scotch eggs are so good. I have made them a second time, and I actually have been... I'm going to make them a third time whenever I have time. I haven't had time to cook the last week.
Now, how did that incantation go?
Daylight savings time is just kicking my ass so hard. Well, if you go to thelorerunner.com... No, that's not true. If you go to my Ruminations channel, Tigzar, you will notice there's a video that went live today. And that's Dwarven Scotch eggs.
Ow!
Ow. Last Sunday, actually, okay, but I'm still recovering from it. Like, it has absolutely ruined my sleep schedule.
Bloody Horsens. They'll pay for this.
You know, I feel like you say that a lot. I don't speak Dwarven. Although I did try not to use the accent too often. I know you guys hate it when I do.
Should have listened to me, old lady.
Off to the front yet again.
I'm afraid that I'm gonna go and play everything, because there's no second and third round. So I need to get all my offenses out immediately. So, we're going to get the pain train going. I got 3 more. There we go. Oh, let's take a drink.
Quiet, or the commissar will hear.
A drink of scotch. I'm just kidding, of course. How did anyone drink scotch? Ridiculous nonsense.
Yeah, yeah!
So I'm still getting the pain train going.
I refuse to believe it. The king could not have died here.
The king died here.
We'll catch them all!
I mean, that does seem to be kind of factual, Uthor. I hate that unit, by the way. Like, if I ever played Nilfgaardians, I would use the Darlin foot soldiers, because those are mean. And the final page.
The chase is on!
Off to the front yet again.
Yeah, it's not like I have access to any other eggs where I am. Let's see. So, we're going to set the back row on fire.
Catch!
Let's do the 12s. I mean, who doesn't like a little bit of fire? Okay, so we have one. But, you know, just to make it official.
Watch for Demoven's banners! If he's here, we must find him!
Let's see here.
The Lyrians met one note of luck in this song of woe. Rosberg had fallen, yes, but the Nilfgaardians, not expecting reinforcements from the south, had stationed only a small detachment to hold it. Meve led her men to victory and retook the fortress. Or rather, what was left of it. What they did not demolish during their assault, the Nilfgaardians burnt once inside the city. Countless charred corpses of both defenders and peasants seeking shelter from the invaders lay among the blackened ruins. Some had tried to shield their children from the fire with their own bodies. To no avail.
Gods be damned!
The Queen cried, pounding her fist against the wall. Meve was about to give the order to move on when she caught a stifled whimper coming from a pile of rubble. Her soldiers ran to the rescue, their bare hands digging through the fiery bricks.
Here! He's alive!
The man they pulled from the ruins had suffered horrible burns. His face was a stew of seared flesh and pus-filled boils, and he reeked of burnt meat. Seeing Black Rayla, the poor soul staggered to his feet and lifted a shaking hand in salute.
Engineer, Lieutenant Xavier Lemons, reporting for duty. Medic! Send for a medic!
Lemons! What the devil's happened?
I know not. The East Tower, I led the defense. Heating oil to tan Nilfgaardian hides. The catapult struck. The cauldron tipped, burst into flames. The rest, I cannot say. The fortress fell. Fell? Damned Scoia'tael.
What was that?
Our preparations were perfect. A month, 2 we could have lasted, but traitors were among us. Elves, dwarves planted charges on the buttresses. An explosion shook the tower, a hole gaped in the wall. Our men threw themselves in, filling the breach.
Vermin, filthy, rotten vermin.
I know you suffer, soldier, but Queen Meve wishes to meet with your sovereign, Demavend. We must know what's become of him. Gone, luckily. He oversaw the preparations, then returned to Aldersburg. 3 days past.
Then let us do the same. Reynard, prepare our departure.
Hold your grace. Did anyone survive? Anyone at all?
No. There were no other survivors.
How could they? An entire detachment? An entire city? The animals.
Soldier, my medics will tend to you as best they can. Then we can escort you home if...
This is my home, your grace. Rosberg, I beg you. Let me join your company. Let me exact revenge.
I respect your fighting spirit, good man. But in your state...
Your grace, I can hold neither shield nor sword, but I can still fight in my own way. I'm an engineer. I build siege towers, ballistae, bridges, whatever you wish. I pray, grant me a chance.
Such pain, such ferocity resounded in Xavier's rasping, distorted voice that Meve could not refuse his plea. Once the medics had bandaged his wounds, Meve's men set out towards Aldersburg, following Demavend and the Nilfgaardians. At one point in their journey, Black Rayla rode up next to Meve. The warrior's lips were a thin line, bitten to blood.
So now we have Two-Face in our party.
Milady, the road to Aldersburg leads through Moulderwood, where Eldain Scoia'tael prowl. Same filth who killed my men and delivered Rosberg to the Black Butchers.
Rayla breathed deeply to steady her furious, shaking voice.
Please, milady, I ask you upon the holies, let us find them and destroy them.
Meve gave a slight nod. It seemed the road to Aldersburg would prove long and full of challenges.
A pity Willem is not with us. Were he to see what lies before our eyes, caught a whiff of the burnt bodies, perhaps he would see with whom he now consorts, whom he allowed in our home with nary a fight.
If it be your majesty's wish, I shall send a rider to the prince with her.
I wish nothing of the sort. I will not correspond with the enemy.
Alright, so we need to kill our son, kill our nobles, Kill our troops. Kill our enemies. Who don't we have to kill?
Dwarves breach the wall. Dwarves breach the walls, ploughing traitors. Where's the king? Why'd he leave us a black-clad mercy? They took everything. I'd head to the wood, but my fear of the Scoia'tael. They took everything. I'd head to the wood, but my fear of the Scoia'tael.
Meave's ears caught the sound of a ruckus coming from the camp.
Feet! Inglet! A pox upon you all!
It was her quartermaster hurling oaths at the peasants she had freed from the Nilfgaardian slave convoy. A few had stolen supplies under the cover of darkness and escaped into the woods. Terror and dread gripped the other freed prisoners. Meave mulled over what to do with them, and Reynard, as always, offered some advice.
'Tis high time they went off on their own, your grace. They are too great a hindrance. They slow our march, divert our soldiers from more important tasks. And now this.
Gascon was listening to their conversation. Meave shot him a questioning look.
I opposed taking them in. So, for consistency, I now oppose forcing them to leave. We made their miserable lives our responsibility, did we not? Well then, that is a burden we cannot simply shrug off.
For the second time, I find myself agreeing with Gascon. So, we're going to keep them.
Let us not mince words. We cast off these peasants now, they shall die.
Meave said in the end.
Let them stay. But I want them watched. They cause any more trouble, military justice they shall face. Understood?
The freed prisoners sighed with relief. The infantrymen assigned to watch over them, however, grumbled their disapproval of the Queen's decision.
"'Tis an army, not a shelter,"
they said. Meave's ears surely caught the complaint. But the Queen had never let the opinions of others guide her in such matters, trusting only her own judgment.
I mean, Gascon is slowly building himself into being a positive. I will freely admit that. Woof woof.
Not liking the looks of this,
Gascon said, furrowing his brow. Meave followed his gaze. Before them, beside the road, stood a hut with a scorched thatch roof.
Why?
Huts abandoned, yet dried fruit and mushrooms hang from the eaves. Famine raging all around and no one's been tempted. I'd send a scout if I were you.
The Queen did as Gascon suggested, and sent 3 infantrymen to reconnoiter. They entered the hut and found only silence, that was soon broken by a blood-curdling growl. The soldiers ran out at full speed, tripping over their own legs. Meave drew her sword, convinced a horde of neckers or ghouls would soon attack. But her fears proved unfounded. Instead of monsters, out of the hut came a shaggy dog, a torn scrap of fabric clutched in its teeth.
"Milady,"
one of the soldiers began, his face red with embarrassment and his hands covering a hole in his breeches.
"was dark as a well inside, and that hound, it jumped out at us all of a sudden, biting it and snapping."
Bad boy,
Gascon said with a smile, then pulled a hunk of dried sausage from his bag. Bought by this generous offering, the dog calmed down at once. Further examination showed the dog was the hut's only resident. Like many others in Aedirn, its owners had disappeared without a trace. Their loyal mutt still guarded the premises, waiting for his master's return.
let's take him with us.
Gascon said.
Otherwise, he'll die here, of his own hunger or someone else's.
We could take the dog, or we could brutally murder it because we're pure evil. They even give us like this picture. This smiling, hi. It even looks like he's wagging his tail. Yeah, no, we're taking the dog.
A watchful sentry like this could prove useful in our camp,
said the Queen.
Fine, he can join. but he shall need a name.
How about Reynard?
Proposed Gascon, a cheeky grin smeared across his face.
That way, he'll come when you call, sit on command, and always be a heel. Always heel, that is.
Watch your words,
said Reynard, hand tightly gripping the hilt of his sword.
or you'll learn I'm not at all as tame as you believe.
Enough, both of you. That's an order. As for you...
The Queen took a good look at the dog, who still had a scrap of fabric in his teeth.
Since it seems you've a taste for the cloth of the nether regions, I dub you... Knickers. Will that do?
The dog wagged its tail vigorously, as if thoroughly pleased with its new name. Meave's company marched off, a furry new recruit richer.
Alright. I gotta see this dog. So Xavier, first of all. Two-Face here. He has Zeal, an order ability can be used on the same turn that's placed. Okay, so he's got Haste. Order, choose a card with Order and give it a charge. Ooh. And of course we have Knickers. Immune. Cannot be that means he cannot be attacked directly. Resilience. He stays. Like, period. When you play a gold card, summon Knickers from your deck. This unit may raid your hand for yummy treats. I'm sorry. Just... Okay. Well, I mean, I have to get him in the deck now. Unfortunately, it's not fully free. I really need to up my max cap. In fact, hang on. Let's exit and lose changes. Nope, wrong thing. Yeah, we really need to increase that recruit cap. So let's do it. Hey, Alpha Host. Welcome to... It's 2020 at this point. Jeez. So now I can just add some cards. Which we're gonna do. Don't worry, guys. I'm still working full-time. Sure. I do expect my own income is going to plummet over the next couple of months, though, as people are out of work. That's not complaining, that's just pragmatism. That's life, you know.
Yes?
This Eldane. Could you tell me about him?
He should hang.
I'd hope to hear advice that will be useful to us in battle.
First of all, you can't rightly trust the bastard. He doesn't respect our laws, doesn't share our morals. The king once dispatched an envoy to Eldane, despite my advice to the contrary. Found the envoy the next day, eyes gouged out, shaft of his white flag jammed down his throat.
So, diplomacy's clearly not the wisest course. But what of battle? What tactics does he employ?
Like all elves, he's a worm. Avoids open confrontation, sets ambushes, attacks from the shadows, from midst the trees. It would be best to burn this whole forest to the ground, deprive him and his folk of cover, any place to hide.
Sounds rather drastic. Like tossing the babe out with the bath.
Believe me, they'd not hesitate to do the same to us. Not for a moment.
Rayla, how are you holding up?
Not certain I understand what you mean.
All Edirn is aflame. Nilfgaard's banners fly over its cities. Don't tell me you're not troubled.
Of course I'm troubled. I stationed at Rosberg for 5 years, knew all on the crew there by name, but that's war. That's its nature. No sense bemoaning it.
I see. Just know if ever you wish to talk.
I won't, but I do appreciate your concern, ma'am.
I usually buy groceries in 1 week increments, so...
I must go. We'll speak later.
We'll see, because my next shopping day is Sunday.
Your Majesty, I've been meaning to thank you for allowing me to join your ranks.
Certainly, Xavier. I welcome all foes of Nilfgaard to march beneath my banner. But what did the field surgeon say? Have you not resumed work too soon?
I've strength enough to wield a hammer, though my scars still burn, and fiercely so. My lady, I've seen folk turn and frown at the very sight of me. If my appearance disgusts you, I can...
Nonsense. The Nilfgaardians, not you, should be ashamed. You've no reason to hide, no reason to cower.
Thank you, my lady. It means a great deal to hear that.
You've long served in King Demoven's army, haven't you?
Yes, Your Grace.
Why enlist at all? What prompted you to do so?
The king needed engineers. I answered the call.
Not terribly talkative, are you?
I can build any bridge, any ballista, but to talk, well, it hurts to talk.
I see. Well, do not worry. I prefer deeds to words, in myself and others. Other matters await my attention. We shall speak later.
As you wish, my lady.
I mean, we're playing a Witcher game. We're probably going to be the bad guys no matter what. So this... Apparently, growl. I mean, I'll be honest, if I had my own face burned that much, I might not survive, like, now. We have slightly better medical tech than they have. Slightly. It's another reason to live on Earth, by the way. Oh no! A virus broke it, and it's fixed. So, eliminate the ancient foglet. Do not let Meve die. That seems easy enough. Doomed. Status that removes the unit from the game if it moves to the graveyard. On turn start, spawn 2 foglets. Give 1 charge to the card on the right. Okay. Hey, Darkstar.
This could hurt.
On every turn, on turn end, move 1 row towards the opponent. On the melee roll, destroy a random palisade. If there are no palisades, destroy Meve. Oh, that's interesting. So I've already screwed up, so let's forfeit. This is too much for me.
This could hurt.
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
Don't you worry yourself, your grace. We'll get it done in no time.
That's probably a mistake, but whatever.
Of course I'll manage. I trained a full week.
Oh. I just lost. I might be able to salvage this. I don't think I will, though. Oh, maybe.
Pissing in the moat? Oh, you're dead.
Never mind. Holy crap. I made 2 mistakes that match. The forest belongs to the Einsailed. Leave this place at once, or we'll be elves. Evil, evil elves. No wonder Django hates elves. He likes The Witcher and Warhammer 40k. God. Kinda leave a bit of a bad taste in the mouth. Oh, into the woods. Into the woods. This is a good idea.
Niamh and her companions neared the Moulderwood, a dense, ancient forest of trees whose tangled branches had witnessed the conjunction of the spheres. It was not until King Vidamont's day that a road was finally carved through the primeval thicket, significantly shortening the journey from Rossburg to Aldersburg.
Even when peace reigns, danger rules this road.
Rayla said.
Now no one dares travel it.
At the edge of the wood by the road stood an enormous willow. Its branches swept down to cover its trunk, looking for all the world like long tresses shrouding a woman's face. Niamh had an ill premonition. She did not like the sickly sweet aroma wafting from this tree, nor the metallic buzzing of insect wings. She sent a scout to investigate. He drew aside the drooping branches and stumbled back. There were men bound to the tree, covered in sap oozing from gashes in its trunk. Its heavy scent had attracted swarms of insects, flies, wasps, bees and beetles. They seethed over the bound men, crawling in and out of their ears and nostrils.
Eldain welcomes us to his wood,
Rayla whispered. Niamh stepped towards the tree and saw the men stuck to it were all still alive. Those the elves had caught recently writhed and howled for rescue. Those hanging longer merely followed the queen with half-crazed, bloodshot eyes.
Yeah. ISD Hammer, I'm just calling in to confirm the base Delta Zero is a go. I repeat, base Delta Zero is a go. Like, I'll free them, but what the frack? They probably need to be burned.
Well, are you to stand there all day?
Niamh screamed to her dumbstruck Lyrians.
Free them, at once!
Her soldiers needed no more prompting and set about sawing at the ropes with their blades. As soon as they had freed the first captive, before even a word of thanks could be uttered, a flaming streak soared through the air and stuck in the tree. The oozing resin burst into flames, engulfing the prisoners as well as the soldiers who had come to their aid. Elder speech battle cries rang out from the woods as elven warriors launched their attack.
Nilkaipsia!
It's a trap!
Cried Reynard.
Defend the queen!
So about that fire.
Keep your heads in the fight! They'll seek to blind us with shock and awe!
Nay, Dwan ve camest.
I saw them. No other way. Kill them! Kill them all!
I've actually never felt bad for the Scoia'tael, but my experience is entirely from the games, so look at that what you will.
Hey?
Really? Okay.
I smell a leak.
War Dancer. Ambush. Next time your opponent plays a unit with higher power, damage it until its power is equal to the War Dancer's. He starts with a 3.
I shall not fail!
Ever have a storm knock out one of your teeth?
None shall tread on us!
Dance of death! Ha! Ha!
I just want you to know I'm winning, even though I haven't played Ache yet, who at the moment is 55 strong. I know I've said this before, but I'm really going to regret it when I lose him. I am all right it. I could use that.
Shh! Cork it!
The storm is coming. Let's enjoy the weather while we still can.
That's a mean spy.
Yeah, yeah!
Right, I'm supposed to be talking this out loud. Sorry. It's really hard
Everything all right?
to do that. So their spies do damage after every 2 turns to the things nearby them when their spy thing triggers. And I'm running out of moves, so we're going to go and play Reynard, get our orders back.
Her Majesty knows what she's doing.
Then we're going to use our orders. Let's get another pain train going.
We'll catch them all!
Death to Old One!
Okay, so I'm currently winning. Now I'm going to play Ache,
A knight should help.
who is currently 81 strong.
Don't let them regroup! Finish off the wounded!
Like, I want you to imagine, I've got a fleet of, like, corvettes and maybe 1 frigate, and I'm beating the enemy. and the enemy's slowly losing, and then I warp in my Super Star Destroyer right on their face. Because that's kind of what I just did.
The battle done, Meve surveyed the carnage, her breath still ragged. The thick stench of blood, sap, and ash she sucked in made her stomach churn and head swoon.
The Scoia'tael. I'd heard of their cruelty, but...
The Queen said, sheathing her sword.
But I... Never have I countenanced a thing like this.
Black Rayla, who had just extracted her blade from between an elven gorilla's ribs, smiled darkly.
Worst is yet to come, my lady.
The Queen regrouped her forces and marched into the Moulderwood. The Lyrians sang none of their usual marching songs. Instead, they walked in silence, eyes darting constantly to their flanks.
Okay, now we're going to burn this wood to the ground. There we go. Any objections? I mean, who cares about the woods anyways, am I right? I was gonna do... That was it. I mean, there's other sources of oxygen. There are, legitimately. But I don't know how this world's ocean life is, so...
Hear that? Nightingales. Unmindful of war, they sing on.
Those are no birds, my lady. Just Scoia'tael scouts use animal cries to communicate. Tell the men to hold to the road, my lady. Anyone wanders in the trees, they don't come out.
Yeah. Let's get one chapter in here. Give them a simple order. Remove the Scoia'tael. Just call them Eldar and they're like, oh yeah, sure, we'll totally do that. The Lyrian Queen is currently passing through the Moulderwood. Her regiment is not large, but we cannot afford to underestimate her. Do whatever you can to halt her advance and weaken her. We will strike when they are at their breaking point. Oh no, it's a trap. I sided with Roach because I liked Roach. Probably sad, but whatever. It's not my fault that Roach is amazing. Yeah, Broche, exactly. There we go.
For Demavend!
I will also admit that, you know, I hated Witcher 2, so make of that what you will. I can't answer you. Okay, it's against my religion, sorry. Let's go and start the game over here. Oh, I'm not.
The unworthy shall be punished.
But it's worth noting that I didn't like the gameplay or the story access to the game, so make of that what you will.
Dwan ve camest.
Yeah, the panic is getting real, Revan. Which is stupid, because there's no reason to panic. Caution? Sure. Panic? Nah. But you know how that goes.
Slaughter them to a man!
The story was too bleak for me, and I would have to sit down and come up with a huge list of the things I didn't like about the gameplay. It would literally be easier to say everything. The way that I've actually thought of to describe what I don't like about the gameplay of Witcher 2 is it feels like a prototype of Witcher 3's gameplay. In a bad way. Like, it feels like they didn't know what they were really doing yet, and so they were trying something new, and it shows. Yeah, Ache is amazing. It's ridiculous. Ache is the best. I have to actually play a card. We'll play him.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Now we will see who is weak.
Is Jedi Knight 2 the one I played, Dakota? On stream, I mean. Yeah, all the Dark Forces games I get mixed up, and I admit it.
I shall not fail.
Probably because I have no experience with them. I've only played the one. Really, only played the one.
Oi! Hey there! Come here!
Okay, so I was waiting for them to play 3 cards so I could do
The white of an
this.
eye from half a league away.
I feel almost mean how much I'm beating them up, but whatever. Screw them. I mean, they ambushed me, you know. So they played a hidden card. It's always fun. I'm gonna go ahead and just do a boost this turn as a delay tactic. See what he plays next. He passes. Well, then I will also pass. Ache is like, stomp, stomp, stomp. Yeah, you thought Shoop was overpowered. You didn't see nothing yet. Oh god, there's a lot of paths in this forest. Of course there are. Ambush, no. Another ambush. 15 ambushes, 13 traps. The woods catch on fire. You stub your toe. So anytime any of my units take damage, he gets buffed the amount they took damage to Maz. So that's regardless of where he is, too. He just gets buffer and buffer. So this is a puzzle battle. Reduce power of all enemy archers to 1. Do not let Neve die. I'm already dreading this. Alright, here we go. Let's do it. Queen Neve is over there, of course. Okay, so the archers are at 7. Choose a bronze ally and add 2 copies of it to your deck. Choose an ally and play all copies of it from your deck. Yeah, Ache is just like, you know, just gotta get ready for the battle. Draw and play 2 Blitz cards from your deck. Damage the highest unit on the battlefield up to 15, then boost the lowest units by the amount damaged. Oh, okay. So let's do this.
One vote I need. Give me a target.
This. Hey, Savicom, it wasn't actually an issue with the computer. It's actually an issue with Twitch. So that's neat. Okay, so that's what I thought. Okay, so it doesn't target multiple units. I was curious. So we're actually going to do that first. There we go. Yeah, no kidding, Savicom. We're actually kind of Frankensteining the stream right now just to be live. Thought about just recording and talking to the air.
Doubt I'll ever pay off these school loans.
Okay. Hang on. Super dead. You and a lot of other people, Savicom. The only nice thing I could say about this current situation is that I know there are some industries where they've been shifting towards, long-distance working or working at home anyways. And so, yay, basically. So, let's do this first. Do this. So it's going to be 1 damage.
One vote I
need. Doubt I'll ever pay off these school loans.
So, 4.
Give me a target.
5.
Arbalist at your command.
6.
I'm a one set.
There we go. Kaivuru Vailem. And wash your hands. Hey. Added to mirror. Or added to deck. Ooh. She definitely was talking about school loans, yes, Kay. That would be the mage character I played a minute ago. Yeah, not everyone can actually work from home. Like, it's not available in all cases. Like, it's hard to work at Arby's from home, to use something from my own history. Ironically, working as a janitor right now would be fine, because I'd go in when everyone's not there. Yeah, come on. Hey, Hazardous. As she traversed the Molderwood, she felt that she was being watched. Shortened battle. The next 2 episodes, Savicom, are Putting Your Hoof Down and It's About Time. What in the crap hell? There we go. Anyway, sorry. So yes, Season 2, Episode 19 and 20. Putting your hoof down, and it's about time. Well, that's cute. Whenever you play an elf, boost it by 1. Oh, whatever. Let's get our loyalist out there.
This harvest will be reaping black-clad heads.
Show me the coin or sod off.
Oh, wow. Every 2 turns, summon a random elf. No, we can't have that, can we? Let's start the pain train,
The
shall we?
chase is on!
May your sword and arm be one.
That's mean. Can I deal with that? I can. My Little Pony, Diesel Edge. It's a TV show. And we now have a good dog. Yeah, that Manticore head has just been amazing. I can't imagine replacing that at this point. And of course, Knickers is fantastic. He's the best because we don't have to have him in our hand to play him. He just plays automatically anytime we play a bronze card. Or a gold card, I think. Sorry, yeah, gold, not bronze. So any of our names and any of our trinkets. Thank you. Oh, goodness, okay. This is actually going pretty badly. Let's go ahead and get Gascon out. To
Quick and
basically
painful this'll be.
tank the fog there. Buff him a little bit. Still rather hold off on using my ability, so we're not going to use it just yet.
None shall tread on us!
Okay, that sucked. Let's go and get her out.
I'll fight to my last breath.
As our secondary tank. I think I'll also start damaging them. Get them a little lower.
You're there!
Catch!
Let's set them on fire, shall we? Tell me... Oh, there he is! Ache, my buddy!
I fear not, for faith guides me.
Thank goodness. Thankfully, he's like I said, he's buffed even when he's in the deck, so he's already up to 47.
Now we will see who is weak!
I've been trying to kill that smuggler for like 4 turns now, too. Getting ridiculous. Okay. Let's try to finish off that smuggler. And by try, I mean succeed. Listen, okay. All I'm saying is fire is sometimes the answer. Every now and again.
Have strength, my love.
So does he, apparently. Go ahead and get this guy out. Start working her down. I think we've won, but it's entirely because of Ache, as usual.
A storm is coming. Let's enjoy the weather while we still can.
Do you mind?
Blood and neck ends. Similian Vart.
Okay, we win. Screw you guys. Frickin' knife ears, God. You know, I wouldn't mind the Scoia'tael if they weren't trying to, you know, kill me horribly. And I do mean horribly. Like, it's not like they're just trying to kill me, which would be bad enough. But they want to torture me to death. And you guys know I'm not in favor of torture. Elf rights by murdering and butchering everyone they possibly can. Like, I know that when all you have is a hammer and all that, but there's other methods, I'm just saying. You can do other things, guys. Come on. No. No, okay. Okay, we're cool. We're cool. It's a raven. Chest. Exactly, Huthor. Which is why we just need to kill all the Scoia'tael. Not all the elves. I've never said kill all the elves. I know plenty of decent elves. What's the seamstress in Witcher 3? He's a cool elf. I like him. Also the blacksmith. He was pretty cool too. I can't think of any names because it's me. But I remember both characters. Of course, the Scoia'tael have the best music so far in the game, so that's just dirty pool at that point.
On the edge of the Moulderwood, there stood a small village, Crumhorn. The hamlet was surrounded by a high palisade, while the villagers carried makeshift weapons, flails, axes, and nail-studded planks. Life as the Scoia'tael's neighbors was clearly not easy. While her men rested, Meve approached two of the villagers. They lowered their heads in respect and fidgeted nervously with their shirt hems.
My lady, reckon you ought to know. Elves meeting traders in the woods at night. Buy swords, herbs.
Rayla, who had overheard the conversation, twisted her mouth in a hateful scowl.
Hawkers stink worse than vermin. Willing to help murderers for coin. Please, milady. We must find them and punish them. You, talk. Where do these meetings take place?
The peasants looked at each other. One scratched his head, the other toed the sand. Finally, one of them blurted out,
"Could tell you, milady, yes, but only for gold."
I mean, we could pay them. Or, I have this whip right here. And, you know, I haven't used the whip the entire game. Isn't that weird? I haven't whipped anyone. It's kind of starting to build an urge for some whipping. Nah, we'll pay him. We'll pay him. We're nice. We're good.
I see I'm dealing with shrewd men of trade. Fine. Your fee,
Meve took a few coins from her pouch and tossed them on the ground. The peasants dropped on all fours and started snatching the coins from the grass, ignoring the contemptuous gaze of the Queen's soldiers.
Them orcas wheeled them goods to the old fishing hut north of here. Scoia'tael come a-crawling from the woods, the first crow of the cockerel.
The Queen told her men to prepare to fight the Scoia'tael and their abettors. Black Rayla sat on a fallen trunk and sharpened her sword. The grinding of stone on blade sounded a grim promise.
When two dogs fight, the third's sure to get the bone.
So anyways, in answer to your question, Control-Alt-Fail, this is a Witcher game, obviously set during the books and before the games, before the previous games, I should say. We are playing as the army of Lyria, trying to deal with the second Nilfgaardian invasion with card games. And, you know, this overworld King's Bounty kind of a thing. Yeah, I've been having trouble too, Daylight savings time has really been giving my sleep schedule a beating, period. Lormum has also been having issues.
We got the gold. Them elves will get a beating. Now that's what I call good custom. We got the gold. Them elves will get a beating. Now that's what I...
The narrator's good. I'm not sure he's plus-worthy good, but he's way better than, you know, some other narrators I can mention in this series. So, Scoia'tael smeared a man in dog lard, tied him up, and left him near a necker nest. So I'm going to have Ake kill the neckers, because he can do that. Ah, whoop. So it is.
Huntsman's away from hearth and home. Watch out for the acromantula. Mighty fine pumpkin harvest this year. Huntsman's away from hearth and home.
Honestly, this is going to sound very strange, but most of the praise I would give CD Projekt Red's writing is actually for their localization team. They know how to do a lot of stuff well into English. Both written and spoken, but primarily spoken, obviously, which, as we've discussed before, it is actually different and more difficult to write to make good writing in English for spoken rather than written.
Meve arrived at the hut the villagers claimed to be the meeting point for the Scoia'tael and the hawkers. Torchlight flickered amidst the trees, and she heard the sound of hushed voices.
Your Grace,
whispered Rayla.
They're in our grasp. We must act quickly if all the elves retreat into the woods. Worry not, Rayla,
the Queen said, patting her on the back.
I shan't let a chance like this slip. Attack!
The Lyrians rushed out of the woods at the unsuspecting elves and merchants. Moments later, the sound of combat filled the dark wood.
So this is another shortened battle. That sounds like a good run.
Hawker scum!
Interesting. So, whenever unit's summoned, give it 3 armor and gain 1 charge. When this reaches 3 charges, spawn a random trinket in hand, and then set charge to 0. Let's get the pain train started on that guy.
Got business for me?
Yeah, I gotta let you guys know, by the way. If we ever get to the point where we review Witcher 1, I know one negative that's basically guaranteed. And it's those stupid cards. Not the romances themselves. The cards. And the way that that mechanic was approached.
Special prize. Just for you, love.
Let's go ahead and shuffle around here. I'm not sure, really, period. My European viewers already have DST, but it's at a different time of the month, so they get a wonky month, comma. And of course, I have some viewers who don't have it at all, period. Yeah, Witcher 2 would probably get the negative too, but that's... I'll go ahead and admit, that's the prude negative. It seems... it's so unnecessary the way they use nudity in Witcher 2. I'm not sure about Witcher 3. Witcher 3 is surprisingly tasteful when compared to the other two. I'd have to debate that. And by that I mean I've already reviewed the game, so never mind. Because we've already reviewed Witcher 3. I forgot that. What was I doing? So I've already flopped their cards to do some damage. Oh yes, so the Hawker Transport now has 7 health. I can do 8 damage, so... next turn I can do 8 damage.
Nay, Dwan Vacamest.
Defadvara!
So I'm gonna do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We deprive them of their trinkets. We have 3 more damage we can do. I'm gonna go ahead and just nuke. Yeah, let's go ahead and just get rid of the Hawker. Yeah, I'm really hoping that at some point we just kind of daylight savings time. It's like I have always disliked it, but the older I get, the more it actually causes me, physical consequences of sleep deprivation, my sleep schedule being off, and blah 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 blah. My mom, Lore Mom, just said, I didn't know Europeans had DST. What a pain. Tell me about it, period. How's the new author treating you? Question mark. So enter.
Swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn.
Well, I know you and I are never going to agree on that one, Huthor, but I also haven't played Witcher 2 since the Rumination, so I will admit that I'm going off of memory. Wish I could do a little more damage. Let's try to do a little more damage before we pull the trigger. Or wait, no. I have a better idea. Let's do this on our 4 damages. Get rid of all 3 of those. Now let's play Black Rayla.
I'll fight to my last breath.
I agree with von Falkenstein. This is why I say that DST just needs to be erased, like, globally. It does not serve the purpose it used to, and it generally makes things worse. Especially since so many countries have it at different times, and not everywhere has it, so it just causes even more issues. It really does need to be an all-or-none thing. I am in favor of none. Obviously. Who is that? Oh, he's just a high-ranking elf. Okay, sure. I'm gonna... Ooh, that's bad. Let's set them on fire.
This could hurt.
Let's set them on fire.
None shall tread on us!
Well, that's why I said, Huthor, the card game is gonna be a guaranteed negative. Or, not the card game, sorry. You know what I mean. The card collecting nudity thing. The nudity itself... Well, actually, there is no nudity in Witcher 1. There's just the sex thing. I'll debate that separate. The nudity in Witcher 2, I'll debate separate. But the cards can go to hell. Well, that's good, period. I'm sorry that altered carbon wasn't your kind of thing, comma. I'm still trying to find out other new sci-fi stuff to toss at you, period. Based on Witcher 3, I've always looked at Geralt as a bit of a romantic. But obviously that's by the time Witcher 3 comes around, and he's been around for a while at that point. Oh, no, I want to play her thing. And I want to bring out... Ooh, what do I want to bring out? Let's go and bring out Xavier.
As ordered.
And let's play... Ache.
God.
Mostly just playing for time there, honestly. Because I'm going to use Xavier in a bit here. I guess I can do it now. So let's go ahead and give back Rayla a charge. Use it. Bring out another bomber. Set the first row on fire. No, Tomas. Hang on, Savicom. And then let's go ahead and use that ability on Black Rayla again. Let's use her ability again. This time... There's actually a few things I could bring out. But I'm just going to be simple. I'm going to bring out another pain train.
We'll catch 'em all!
Get focused on that guy. Because I need that guy to die pronto. Okay. So Savicom says, would games that had some amount of intended in-story nudity but be different graphics capacity be rated differently? Can you think of an example of such a thing, Savicom? Because you can have sex in Baldur's Gate 2, but nothing is shown ever. It's all entirely off-camera. It all happens in, like, a fade to black. In fact, I think until Mass Effect 3, all of the romances and the sex in BioWare games was not shown on camera. I could be wrong about that. It's Mass Effect 2 or 3. Nothing's shown in 1. I know that. I really want that guy dead. In Dragon Age Origins, they were in their underwear. So, no, that doesn't count. And that's all I can do this round. Alright, whatever. Thankfully, I don't have anybody damaged right now.
Everything all right?
See you around, Kay. Now, not that I'm disagreeing with you, Huthor. But I'm completely disagreeing with you, so give me a second. I hate you for making me look this up, Huthor. I just want you to know that. But I'm not seeing anything for Mass Effect 1. Other than fan patches, which are pretty hideous. And nothing for 2 as well. Which goes along with what my memory is. We see underwear, but we don't see anything else in 1 or 2, by memory. And by looking it up right now. Go ahead and do this.
We must trust each other.
Go pull out another card. Let's pull him out.
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
Those 3. Andromeda did have nudity. And I'm pretty sure 3 did too. Like, I hate to say this, Huthor, but I don't believe you. Do you have pictures to back this up? Like, I literally just looked this up. Right now, on camera. Let's pull him out.
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
one's around. Nuking that one and damaging the other. Okay. Good turn. You want to surrender? Oh, apparently you do want to surrender. I am legitimately asking for nudes on the internet from Huthor about Mass Effect 1. Because I don't believe him.
There's but one penalty for trading with elves.
Of course he gives me a frickin' YouTube. Hang on. No, that's not what I need. Give me a second. Then I gotta pull this up in a private window because I don't want this in my browsing history. Okay, so here we go. This is it. Super sexy things. This is 30 seconds. Apparently this is Ashley. I've never romanced Ashley. Nope, see, that actually doesn't count. So, I am correct. That's good to know. However, if you want to count that as counting, then sure. But
Neve
I don't
pulled
consider
off
that
a
counting.
rare trick. She laid a trap for the Scoia'tael in their own woods. The surrounded elves fought to the bitter end, choosing death over human captivity. Neve cracked open the hawkers' chests and stared at a mass of tangled oakum. Perplexed, she dug deeper and found the real goods hidden underneath. Bolts with entrail-pureeing hooks, leg-snapping bear traps, and incurable poisons.
Instruments of cruelty,
said Reynard, looking over the chest's contents.
Designed to deliver maximum pain and a prolonged death.
'Tis shameful to fight with such things.
The usually quiet Ache blurted out. Gascon did not share in the general gloom. He reached for one of the arrows and balanced it in his hand with curiosity.
A corpse is a corpse. It cares not how it became one. And these marvels, oh, my lads could do fine things with them.
Yes, Uthor, you are crazy. See, the problem is what you are listing is basically referred to as PG or PG-13 nudity, aka not actually nudity. You know, like if I was female, turned around and took off my shirt, but all you could see is my back, that is not qualified as nudity, at least not for the definitions of the words that we're using here. I sure hope not, Sergeant Dornan, because I do know what you're talking about, and I don't know what to make of that. But yeah, that would qualify as PG-13 nudity, which is not what I was referring to. Actual rated R nudity does not happen until Mass Effect Andromeda and I think Mass Effect 3. I actually don't remember in Mass Effect 3, if I'm being honest. But I know it doesn't happen in 2, and I know it doesn't happen in 1. Thank you very, very much, Diesel Edge. Very much obliged and appreciate. Thank you, sir. I'll put that towards Soden. Yeah, we were discussing the different definitions of nudity, since there's different definitions of nudity. Like, I'm nude from the neck up right now. I'm going to use the weapons.
The ends justify the means.
Neve said curtly as she grabbed a weapon from one of the chests. Her soldiers followed suit and equipped themselves with hawker arms. Soon enough, the elves would feel the pain they'd hoped to inflict on others.
So now we get a flail. But yeah, the legal definition of nudity, especially here, the thing that differentiates the line between PG-13 and R is genitalia and nipples. Those are the two things. You bypass those two things, you have crossed over the line, so to speak. Let's go see what the flail does, shall we? So, by those definitions, like I said, Mass Effect 1 and 2 would qualify as PG-13, whereas Mass Effect Andromeda would qualify as R. I know you don't think that way, Huthor, and that's fine. But even I thought the stuff in Mass Effect 1 was tame. The choice was to keep the weapons or destroy them, Takoida. If you could call that a choice. So, the flail damage 3 adjacent enemies by 3 and then move them 1 row back and then trigger all loyalties. Honestly, I think the broadsword is better than that. Damage an enemy and all enemies with same power by 4. Phone hugs, exclamation mark. Stay safe and healthy, period. Anyway, sorry, Savacom, I missed your response in the midst of the discussion about nudity. Hi, Nymph. I guess I could scroll up. Let's see. Savacom. God, it's hard to read this chat like this. Okay, so from a censorship perspective, I mean, we could ask Colonel Custer's Revenge, but I'd rather not even mention that game, even though I already did, but it's the only one I could think of. Yeah, it's a terrible game in addition to being a tasteless game, in addition to being, you know, kind of horrible. Whoop. Sure. This is only our 3rd standard battle. Oh, even this one's shortened. What do I think of it so far? It's the worst game in the history. No, it's pretty good. I'm liking it. I'm liking it quite a bit so far. The difference in writing. What do you mean by the difference in writing? If you don't mind my asking. My point being, though, Savacom, unfortunately or not, there have been quite a few, you know, older console systems that have been, you know, nudity or pornographic, and that doesn't really change the rules, so to speak. Yeah, if you're gonna ask me about the books, you're gonna have to ask someone else, I'm afraid. As far as Nilfgaard, I don't really like how Nilfgaard's portrayed so far. I'm still kind of holding off on judgment there. Let's go ahead and just get her out.
You'll never take me alive!
So playing her automatically plays the dog, because Knickers is amazing. But it also means that next round I'll be able to summon a random thing. Which is good, because she's going to start tanking. So let's summon a random thing. Let's actually go ahead and bring in Xavier.
Fear not!
Let's use his ability on her. Let's use her ability to summon Reynard. No. Actually, no. Oh, shoot. Okay, whatever.
Company! Forward march!
So then let's use her ability to summon... Let's go and bring in the bombers.
This could hurt!
Fire. Let's use his ability on her. Let's use her ability to summon someone. This is a one-round fight, so I don't mind burning through my deck like this. Let's go ahead and bring in the cavalry, the pain train. And get started on that. I haven't even played a card this turn. So let's play the cavalry. Start getting some damage going.
Dole! Blastana!
What? Okay, so his ability is destroy the lowest enemy and damage all units on its row by its power. So that's mean.
We'll catch 'em all!
I mean, so far I've been enjoying the dialogue quite a lot for whatever you want to make of that. I really want that archer to die. So we're going to go and blow her ability now. So it'll die after the next round. But yeah, the dialects have been good. I like the usage of dialects so far.
Dwan Vacamest.
Let's go ahead and wipe the board a little bit.
Blood and neck ends. Similian Vat.
So, I want those guys to be a little lower on damage. She's going to die next round. So let's shuffle all three of these guys back.
Yeah, well.
So they're just going to start taking damage from the fire, in addition to the damage they took from me shoving them back. Fire trap up, I need to kill that immediately. Which I don't think I have the ability to do. If I do, it would be so wasteful. Haijin Kamyo. We're going to use the runestone, so 1, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I love that runestone. That's my favorite trinket so far, by far. Just 8 points of damage, wherever you want to put it. So I'm going to deploy the War Wagon, because I think I know what that ambusher is.
Got any victuals? Hungry like
Right? So that's going to be a lot of damage to him. And that's going to buff the ever-living crap out of Ache. So the fire's going to take care of their back row.
Everything all right?
I mean, if you want to surrender, you know, I'm waiting. Let's go and throw out Gascon, because why not?
Wait, you're serious?
Oi! Hey there! Come here!
Let's play our cavalry, because why not?
The chase is on!
Yeah, let's go ahead and do some damage to the Hawker while we're at it.
Death to Old One!
I am astonished he hasn't surrendered yet. Oh, he just finally surrendered. Okay, so I have 62 power on my side, so I'm going to play Ache, who is 68.
A knight should help.
And then I'll pass.
Commands it.
Star Destroyer. I beg you, please return home. Only death awaits you in the company of the Scoia'tael. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to your mother. Losing your brother in the pogrom was already too much to bear. In the name of all that's sacred, in the memory of our ancestors, leave the forest while you can. Nope! She didn't. She died. Just now. To me. Your best friend. Asriel Dreamer! Oh, sorry. There we go. Bridge fixed. Loot get.
Meve was discussing some matter with Gascon when a scout approached. His blood-streaked uniform revealed the matter to be urgent, so the Queen cut short her conversation and requested a report.
We were scouting, milady, and we found a cave entrance. Small scattering of elves guarding it, but we took them right out.
Gascon scratched his chin.
I'd wager 10 Novigrad crowns there are more Scoia'tael squirreled away inside. We strike afore they know we've snuffed out their guards. We might well catch them by surprise. But we must act quickly.
Well, then let's do it.
Let us act. Gather some men and prepare them for an attack.
What's the choice here?
Quiet.
The Lyrians crept into the cave. They moved carefully, noiselessly even, avoiding notice for quite a while. Nevertheless, elven warriors soon came pouring out of a side cavern.
No. This is a standard battle. Holy crap. It's like our second standard battle today. Okay, so get rid of the dog. Nobody likes that dog. Nobody. Except me. There's Ache. Okay, I'm satisfied. I just wanted Ache in my hand.
We ought to help one or the other. Everything all right?
Do you mind? Can I please? Okay. Slay a unit from your graveyard and have their power is his ability. I'm gonna play it nice and slow. Get out a loyalist.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Oh my. Oh, my little A. We ought to help one or the other. Oh my.
What the hell is that mess? I'm facing a group of 5 healers, guys. So I'm going to set them on fire. He's already passed.
Must be something of value to them here.
He actually has already passed. Okay. We'll do this. And, well, we have to play a card now, so... We'll play Gascon. He's kind of a weak card.
And just when you thought things were about to get dull.
No, Knickers. That's okay, he has resilience. Okay, so I will pass. Now that I've won. Oh, God. So... choose a card to redraw. No. I'm good, thanks. So I don't really have a standard card to throw out yet, so we'll throw out Rayla.
You'll never take me alive!
We need her to become White Rayla, after all.
Dwarf.
Oh, my little A.
We'll use her ability, and we'll pull out Xavier.
My scars? No, they don't hurt.
Then we'll pull out, let's see. Let's go ahead and get the Pain Train guy out.
The chase is on!
All archers, target that healer. No, really. All archers, target that healer. So I was thinking about that, Dakota, and it doesn't bother me as much as it does in some games, because you notice there's like 5 or 6 clips per card, which helps a lot. Because holy crap. I have played quite a few card games where they have
We ought to
one
help one or the
quote,
other.
and that gets pretty damn old. I don't think it's a good thing, but I do think that it's better than it is in most other video game card games of this manner.
We got a job to do.
Start using our spies.
Now we will see who is weak.
Aw.
Oh no.
Nope, now I can't kill him. No, I could kill him. There we go. Attack everyone with 5 power. Kill him. Whatever. Oh. I could use this to pull out. Let's see. Let's pull out a slinger.
Thing about
him,
slings, they hide well.
him, and him. And they're all dead. End turn. My spy should go off. He is now 17.
I shall not fail.
He's going to fail. Of course, I haven't been taking damage, so Ache is actually much weaker than usual. I'm just rolling over them like a bulldozer. Well, let's go ahead and pull out Reynard.
Her Majesty knows what she's doing.
And then let's pull out... Let's see... No. Or, well, okay, apparently I can't.
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
Okay, apparently I can't cancel out? And I can't
the white of an eye from half a league
do
away.
it, so whatever. Damage my own guy, because there's nothing else I can do about that. But then I'll use this on her. And then I'll bring in another guy. Let's see. Let's bring out this guy. Him. And turn. So now we're going to be doing 3 damage around to both of them, looks like.
Ha! Ha!
So
Oh
my
my
cavalry is now locked. So what that does is it locks down a unit until she's destroyed, at which point it removes the lock. You know what I think really could get rid of some locks is fire. I think that's a good thing to get rid of. So we'll do that.
Kayam!
Now we can move 3 people around.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
We'll get rid of those 3. I mean, you can just surrender.
This is elven land.
I probably won't kill all of
on
you.
which your kind dies.
No? Okay.
We ought to help one or the other.
I mean, I guess I probably would kill them all. It's like... See, this is why I'm not anti-elf, I'm anti-Nazi. Like, it's not like I'm against all human beings, right? Right? But the Scoia'tael can go to hell.
Yeah!
Which...
Your tricks will not save you, Dwarf.
So I'll just go ahead and pass here, because we're done. We win.
They resisted to the very end.
And they are all dead.
When the Lyrians broke the elven ranks, Meve was convinced their foe would retreat and regroup. But to her surprise, the Scoia'tael fought to the bitter end. She concluded there must have been something truly valuable hidden in that cave. As Meve entered the next chamber, Her nose caught the stink of blood, pus, and urine. Then she understood. The elves were using the cave as a field hospital.
Yeah, I figured.
Wounded fighters lay by the cavern walls. They made no attempt to defend themselves, nor to beg, nor to make peace with the gods. They merely watched the Lyrians calmly, with stark contempt.
So...
Milady,
whispered Rayla.
you saw what the Scoia'tael are capable of. What they do to humans. They would have no mercy for...
Reynard, usually calm, could not hold back and cut Rayla off.
What, pray, do you suggest? That we murder the wounded?
The warrior responded in a whisper, slowly emphasizing her words.
I suggest you leave. Leave me and my men. We'll take care of the rest.
So what would you do? See, the funny thing is, like, this isn't really a choice. I mean, killing wounded kind of sucks, and there's the whole, you know, rules of warfare and blah, blah, blah. But A, Scoia'tael don't follow those rules of warfare, and B, they're going to die anyways. We just took care of their caretakers. Why do you think there were so many healers in that group we were just fighting? So yeah, they're going to die. I would totally go for some Oreo pie right now. Oh, can I make my own? Oh my god, you have just given me an idea. A wonderful, glorious idea. Let's see here. Oreo pie recipe. What do we got here? No, I'm killing him. I've already said this. This is no choice. They're Nazis. So, don't care. They're gonna die anyways. So, don't care. Like, I'm totally cool with treating the enemy fairly if the enemy is, you know, a decent person. If it's a political battle or a nationalistic battle, sure, whatever. But these guys can go to hell. So... Oh.
Eve swallowed with difficulty. The rancid, clammy air caught in her throat.
We'll await you at the top, Rayla.
The Queen moved towards the exit, keeping close to the walls. After a long hesitation, Reynard followed. Rayla joined them later that evening. She spent a long time washing the blood from her armor.
I'm not gonna kill people, Jake the Crazy. Wait, see, it's even in your name, man. Come on. But yeah, no, honestly, Takoida has an extremely valid point. They're dead. They're gonna die slowly and pretty horribly of injuries and wounds. Like, I know that my own thoughts on this are severely coloring my opinion, but...
Oh, welcome. Pay close attention. Hopefully you'll learn something.
But that... But no, like... If I was on the verge of death, if I was like, and you were like, hey, Lore, so I can kill you... Or, you know, I can leave you here to die slowly. I'd rather you kill me. Why is this being so weird? Not you guys, sorry. Yeah, you're... Screw these guys, Uthor. I don't like now in the interest of fairness, I am irritated that was not a mercy killing option. That was a let Rayla have her fun option, which I'm not in favor of. But the game doesn't give me the mercy kill option, so whatever. Why didn't you update your Facebook page, Vigilant? Thank you very much, Vigilant. for the support. Very much obliged, sir. Thank you. And I've put that towards Sith Warrior. Yeah, I know Uthor. That just makes it easier. What do you mean, Tomas, if you don't mind my asking for clarification? I mean...
Have we not passed this way before?
Scouts say no, Your Grace. They mark the trees.
Elves could have erased the marks, or left new ones where we've yet to tread. Best to follow the sun. Only way not to lose your bearings.
That's... wow. I have to be honest, I barely noticed them, Tomas, but I do like them. It's good stuff. I like the variety. Yeah, I guess that's the route. Looks like we actually have 2 routes? Well, nope, that's a burnt bridge. So we do not have 2 routes. Got it.
Meve was riding at the head of the caravan when Black Rayla rode up and leaned towards her. She spoke in a whisper, a hand shielding her mouth.
Your Grace, I've something important to tell you. Yet you can't show anything to miss. Look straight ahead. Make no sudden moves.
Meve nodded slightly and waited for her to continue.
Scoia'tael scouts in the woods, watching us. Eldain's near here somewhere, preparing his attack.
So what do you propose?
Asked the Queen, her gaze fixed on the road ahead.
Let him catch us out in the open. We're sitting ducks. But there are ruins nearby, an elven cemetery. We can find cover behind its walls.
Meve was accustomed to discussing important decisions with all her advisors, but she knew there was no time for consultation now. She had to trust Black Rayla's advice, and so without further delay issued the appropriate orders. Meve's retinue reached the cemetery before dusk. Her soldiers knocked down the marble statuary and piled them into barricades, while scouts took up positions outside the walls to watch for the foe's approach. When the sun set, the woods exhaled the heat of the day, and a thick fog soon arose. Out of the mist stepped Reynard's scouts, bound and pushed forward by elves. One of the Scoia'tael, a sturdy elf with long hair, stood by the cemetery wall and cried,
I am Eldain. I would speak to Meve.
I am she. Speak.
Cadmil en Kedvagenvid, Rena. This place is of great import to us, the Enshe. I would tell you of its monuments, of the weeping Ensevern, carved by 3 generations of sculptors, or of the alabaster relief of King Kelad, so beautiful even the birds would gather to admire it. But I see your men have found our memorials, and, in the way of Dwan, destroyed them without a second thought. I cannot say this comes as a surprise. You've already shown the gods molded you from the basest of matter. You murdered injured soldiers who no longer posed you any threat.
Get to the point, Eldain.
So I shall. As you certainly know, the necropolis is surrounded. Soon there shall be a battle, but it is unseemly to fight in a cemetery. So I ask you to come out into the open.
And surrender our tactical advantage.
I suspected a matter so impractical as respecting the dead would mean nothing to you, Dwan. So I submit one more argument. The lives of the soldiers you sent to spy. If you leave the cemetery, I shall set them free. They will fight at your side. If not, I shall kill them, here and now.
Milady, don't listen to him. He can't be trusted.
Rayla, those are good men. Fabian, Gerrit, Matthias, they've served me for a decade. They'd crawl through 7 hells for their queen. They do not deserve such a death.
Wish I could save state. Well, given the circumstances, I think there's only one thing I could choose.